What's up, folks? Welcome back to BrickBucks, where we talk about Lego investing and reselling and holding Lego sets as the value increases because they're no longer available in retail stores. And today, I'm super excited about this topic. We're finally going to look at price per piece. This is a question I get all the time and a highly requested topic that I dive into price per piece a little bit more. What is price per piece? Is it important? But most importantly, and what I really want to tackle in this video is price per piece different across different themes, and which theme has the lowest price per piece, in other words, the best value. Now let me explain what I mean by that. So if you're new to this concept of price per piece, what is it? Firstly, you will hear it called price per piece by some people. Others will call it cost per piece. Some people will call it cost per part. Some people will call it price per part. It's all the same thing, and what it basically means is, what is the cost of every individual piece inside of a Lego set? So if you have 1,000 pieces in the box and the box costs you $100, how much does each individual piece cost you? So if you have 1,000 pieces inside of the box and the retail price on the box is $80, then if you divide those numbers out, what is each individual piece costing you? Out of those 1,000 pieces that are inside the box, how much is each of them costing you? And this is a metric for valuing Lego sets that a lot of people use in the investing community. Now in that example, of course, if you have 1,000 pieces inside the box and it costs you $80 retail price to buy it, that will be a price per piece of 12.5 cents. Every little part inside that box costs you 12.5 cents to buy it, because of course we're taking that 1,000 and dividing it by 80, which is the retail price, and then we get the price per piece, or cost per piece. Now I'm not going to dig too deep into price per piece and how to use it in Lego investing decisions right here in this video, but what I will say is it is useful in making Lego investing decisions, and I do use it in my considerations. It is one of around 16 or 17 different considerations that I think about when I'm making my buying decisions. However, I think there are a few important things to keep in mind when you are looking at price per piece and trying to factor it into your buying decisions as a Lego investor. Firstly, and most importantly, I think it is really most useful when you're comparing sets in the same theme to each other. So for example, if you're trying to decide between which of the 3 Speed Champion sets to buy, then you can calculate out the price per piece for each one of them, and it is a good metric to compare the value of each of those sets and see if one of them is a little bit better bang for your buck, if one of them is a little better value because it has 30 pieces more than the others, but they're all selling for the same retail price. That is a powerful way to use price per piece. But when is it not useful? When you are comparing themes that typically have a high price per piece against other themes that typically have a low price per piece, and there are a lot of different reasons why a theme can have a high price per piece or a low one. And so comparing them sometimes does not make a whole lot of sense, because for example, it can be heavily impacted by the number of minifigs in the box, and if a theme typically has a high count of minifigs, then it may have a high price per piece. Does that immediately mean that it's not good value? No, it doesn't, because those minifigs are worth a lot and we need to consider that. Likewise, for other parts like dinosaurs in the Jurassic World theme, it can make it seem like the price per piece in Jurassic World is quite high, which might make you think that the sets are more expensive than they should be, but in actuality, if you understand the price that those dinosaurs could sell for in places like Bricklink or Bricko, then you will see that there is more at play here than just the price per piece. And comparing that Jurassic World set to a theme that has no minifigs, no dinosaurs, all parts, and has a really low price per piece may not be a fair comparison, and it does not make a whole lot of sense when you are making your investing decisions. So in my opinion, price per piece is best used when you're comparing sets within the same theme to figure out which one of them is the best value. That is the most common way that I would use it in my buying decisions. Now, the other call out that I want to make when we're thinking about how to use price per piece in Lego investing is that the marketplace also has an impact on it. On some marketplaces that are more broader market, like Amazon, which I would say is a more generalized market and not just made up of Lego fans like Bricklink buyers are, then price per piece will sometimes not be considered as often in the buying decisions. If a fan knows more about Lego, then they're more likely to think about things like price per piece and the relative value of a set because of the number of pieces inside the box. But if someone is buying on Amazon during Q4 and they're just buying a gift for a nephew and they want to just buy it quickly and they're clicking the buy box and they're not doing a whole lot of research, then they are likely to just forget about the number of pieces inside the box entirely, not think about price per piece, really at all, and be more okay with paying inflated prices for something like Duplo that has 20 parts inside the box and is selling for $90. So the weight that price per piece has on my buying decisions will change depending on the marketplace that I will be selling a set on. And if I'm targeting Amazon buy box for my selling, then I'm going to care a little bit less about price per piece than if I'm targeting selling on Bricklink or somewhere else where my buyer was more likely to be a knowledgeable Lego fan. We're going to look at some themes that could be considered to have a pretty good value in terms of the number of pieces inside the box relative to the MSRP. And I do want to emphasize that we need to look at the MSRP, or recommended retail price, and not the buy cost. So if we're buying a set for 20% or 30% off, then of course our price per piece will be lower. But when we're trying to compare sets across different themes and things like that, we should be using MSRP so that we're using a standard price across the different sets, because really what we're trying to understand here is the intrinsic value of the set. And the intrinsic value is best figured out when we have a base MSRP that was set by the manufacturer, the Lego Group, and the number of pieces inside the box. So the best way to do it, of course, is to use that MSRP number with that piece count in order to calculate this out. And with that, let's jump into a ranking here. Let's look at the top 10 themes when it comes to the lowest price per piece. And this is based on averages from 2018 to 2021. So it's all sets in all of these themes over the last 3 years that we're looking at here. It's a lot of different sets, and it's a pretty good sample size to give us an idea on current day price per piece. I think if we looked at older sets, it wouldn't give us a very good understanding on what things are like today, because of course piece counts have dramatically changed and a lot is different now. So let's jump in and look at some themes and actually rank, so we can look at which Lego themes have the lowest price per piece. In other words, are considered to be good value in terms of the number of pieces inside a box to the MSRP. Now, coming in at 10th position in this ranking of lowest price per piece themes is Harry Potter. The Harry Potter theme, I looked at 42 sets in this theme from 2018 to 2021. The sets had an average price of $69.25, and on average the sets had around 800 pieces inside of the box. And again, this means that for every part inside of a Harry Potter set box, it on average costs us around 9 cents. Moving on to number 9 now, we have Lego Creator with an average price of $31.21 on Lego Creator sets over the last couple of years, and an average count of pieces inside those boxes of 367. So that gives us an average price per piece on Lego Creator sets of around 8.5 cents. So 0.2 cents lower than Harry Potter, and this was across 50 different sets that I looked at in the last couple of years. Moving on to number 7 now, we have Creator Expert. Lego Creator Expert is another one of this top 10 when it comes to low price per piece, with an average set price of $171.32 and an average count of pieces inside the box of 2,160. So that gives us an average price per piece across the theme over the last couple of years of 7.9 cents. So just under 8 cents, which is a big jump up from those last two that we just looked at. Moving into number 7 now, and 7th on this ranking is Lego Ideas. Ideas are another theme that are typically good value when it comes to price per piece. And the average price of those Lego Ideas sets was $121.82. There were 1,542 pieces on average in Lego Ideas sets, and as we know, some of them are definitely dragging up that average, which is expected, but I didn't want to exclude them because they do contribute to these totals and they are important to remember. And the Lego Ideas theme also had a price per piece of around 7.9 cents. It was just slightly, very, very slightly better value than the Creator Expert, which landed it in this number 7 position. Jumping into number 6 now, we have Speed Champions. The Speed Champions theme is much beloved by a lot of Lego investors out there, and you might be happy to hear that it is also considered good value when it comes to the number of pieces inside those boxes for relative to the price. There were 23 different sets that I looked at in the Speed Champions theme over the last couple of years, and the average price was $26.73 on those sets. Now again, we have some $100, $50 sets dragging up that average for Speed Champions. Now, the average number of pieces inside those boxes was 348, which gives us an average price per piece on the Speed Champions theme of 7.7 cents, landing it in the 6th position, the 6th most valuable theme when it comes to price per piece. Charging into the top 5 now, and in 5th position we have Lego Architecture. I gotta be honest, I was a little surprised to see such a high ranking for architecture. When it comes to part out value, usually they're terrible, but for price per piece, they're not actually that bad, with an average price on the sets that I looked at of $72.72 and an average piece count inside those boxes of 965, which gives us a price per piece of around 7.5 cents on architecture over the last couple of years. Moving into number 4 now, and we have Brickheads. No surprises here, Brickheads is good value when it comes to price per piece. Across 81 different sets, these had an average price of $14.26 and an average number of pieces inside the box of 197, which gives it an average price per piece of 7.2 cents. Moving into number 3 now in this ranking, and we have Lego Classic. So the classic sets on average over the last few years had an average price of around $28.87 and an average number of pieces inside those boxes of 536. So this gives us an average price per piece on the Lego Classic sets since 2018 of 5.4 cents. Almost a 2-cent jump here, a massive jump from 4th position Brickheads into 3rd position Lego Classic. What's in number 2? Moving into the 2nd position now, we have Lego Dots, another one that I don't think anyone is surprised to see here. Across 21 different dot sets, there was an average price of $16.75 and an average number of pieces of 335, which gives us an average price per piece on this theme in the last couple of years of around 5 cents. Another pretty big jump from 3rd position into 2nd position. And now leading this whole pack of all Lego themes when it comes to price per piece and relative value for the number of pieces inside of a box. In 1st place, we have Lego Art. They've really changed the game when it comes to expectation on price per piece. 7 different sets have been released in the Lego Art theme in the last couple of years, and those sets on average had an MSRP of $138.56, but they had an average number of pieces of 4,493, so tons and tons of pieces inside each of these sets that you're buying for 130 bucks. And that is an average price per piece of 3.1 cents, dramatically lower than every other Lego theme. So what do you think, folks? Did this meet your expectations? Did you expect to see Lego Art in the number 1 position? Let me know in the comments below. And what themes are missing from this list? Which themes did you think might have been in the top 10 when it comes to price per piece? Add your comments below and let's talk about it. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, and also if you found it useful, please do subscribe to the Brick Scoop newsletter in the description, because that's where I share a lot more in-depth information about Lego investing, my experiences, and the things that I'm focused on. So check out that newsletter Brick Scoop in the description below if you want more information. And one last reminder, if you're not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do that, because we're almost at 10,000 subscribers. We're going to have a massive giveaway when we get there. I'm very excited about it. Please do subscribe if you're not already. And with that, I'm Shane from brickbucks.net. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.